News Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday morning, the day after Autumn Fest has ended. It is the 11th day of October. My name's Joe Callahan. Thanks for joining us this morning. Linda Tebow is here. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
Has your husband recovered from his Autumn Fest duties with us?
Well, yeah. He was sound asleep as soon as he got home. He hit the couch and he was snoring.
Out. He'll be snoring when you go home today, too.
Yes, I think so.
Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group is here. Hello, Ed.
Hello there.
Nice to have Ed with us as well. And it's time for a first message from Ed's Business, which happens to be the Carew Investment Group.
Ed's Business. Hi, I'm from Ed's Business.
Calcifreeze.
Thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. At the Carew Investment Group, we have a very simple philosophy about investing. We buy only the best companies for our client portfolios, taking into consideration earnings, revenue, dividends, company outlook, interest rates, and the economy in general. You see, all of the above factors help us to determine the long-term direction of the economy and therefore our investments. Now let's be real for a minute. A well-constructed portfolio will not go up every day, but it will over time. In addition, all of your holdings won't be up at the same time. If that were the case, you'd be a momentum trader and not a serious investor. So if you're not happy with the management of your current investments or would like to hear more about how we invest your money, you can call me, Ed Carew, or you can call my son Paul Carew at 765-8880 for an appointment with Better Money Management. That number again is 765-8880. And remember, I've been in the business of investing for people just like you for over 35 years. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. And just wrapping things up from Autumn Fest, we want to say congratulations to our Split the Pot winner. That's what we do at our trailer. We sell them for $1 a piece, and then we collect as much as we can. And so our winner that Dave will be contacting, Lisa Kinney Goulet. She's from Pasco. And she wins $369.50. And the other $369.50 goes to Autumn Fest.
Wow.
So, you throw your buck in, and basically you had a 1 in 719 chance, and she won. So congratulations to you. That's $370 you didn't have before you started the weekend. And now, the Autumn Fest button numbers were drawn last night during closing ceremonies. We're waiting for people to come forward. For the $500 prize, it's button number 6042. The $250 prize is number 227. And the $100 prize is 4380. You call, if you have one of those button numbers, you call 769-6925, and they'll direct you of how to claim your winnings. And, of course, as we always say, if no one claims the buttons within a week, new button numbers are drawn. So always hang on to your 2022 button numbers until all three prizes are claimed. And the way the rules work, they can do this right up until the end of the year. And if no one claims the buttons,
Joe gets the money.
It comes to me. I won the
Just
drawing
joking.
on that.
Right.
Nope. If no one claims it by the end of the year, the money just stays with Autumn Fest.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. But we want you, if you're the winner, we certainly want you to collect. So Autumn Fest was a major hit this year. We were very lucky. 3 wonderful days weather-wise. People say, oh, you can't ask for a better day. True. I guess it could have been a little warmer. I mean, maybe the temperatures could have stayed in the 60s a little longer. Because that was what happened. Too bad Saturday night, Ed. The James Montgomery Blues Band, which was terrific, started playing at 8 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock, it was about 53, 54 degrees.
Yeah.
At 8:30, it was about 40. And I'm like, oh, no. And now he's playing till 10 o'clock, 9:30 actually. And I'm like, uh-oh. And the crowd, which was big, all of a sudden, there they go, because it just got cold. And now it's in the upper 30s. And it's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's just it got cold on Saturday night. Oh well. The Zac Brown tribute band, who were the headliners on Sunday night, had it better. When they started playing at 7:30, it was again about 54 or 55. Temperature dropped to about 50 by the time they were done. So the crowd stuck around for them. Of course, there were fireworks after them too.
Right.
That could have
Yeah.
been something else that was incentive for them. But it's like, I felt bad for the James Montgomery Blues Band because they had such a good crowd to start, and then it just got ridiculously cold for some people. I said, "That's it. We got to go." Now Ed spent time at King Richard's Fair this weekend, and it's funny because I follow them on Facebook, and so when I got home from Autumnfest on Saturday night, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and there's King Richard's Fair, basically apologizing, saying we're so sorry for everyone that couldn't get in on Saturday. It was a sellout, and I have never heard of them selling out.
Me neither.
Never. But Ed got in on Saturday.
I got there early.
So you saw the crowds.
Oh, the crowd was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was parked in the last row on the right-hand side of the field on that side. They were parked.
You ever been there? There's two sides,
There's
too,
two
to go
sides,
park.
right.
Yeah.
And this year, they did something somewhat different. Anyway, usually you'd run Route 58 going to King Richard's Fair.
Yeah, there's the one road
There's
to get
only
there.
one road to get there, yeah. And they always had, the traffic was backed up, for miles. It was crazy. Well, this time, they split the road going towards the fair on both sides. They split it so that you had, if the right lane was King Richard's Fair, the next one was
Straight
people
through.
going straight through. So it
Okay.
made the line less lengthy, and so you went a lot faster. The same thing going in. They had split the entryway into two, so you went in from both sides, coming from the north or south or east or west or whatever the heck it is, So they were coming in from both sides, and they were parking on both sides at the same time instead of filling up one side and the other.
Yeah.
I still ended up as being the second to the last car on the right-hand side in the back row.
And I know they were also, I don't know where they were parking them, but they were running shuttles for people to get in to King Richard's Fair as well. So, well, it was a beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
And I figured I think they sold out on Saturday mainly because the Patriots played Sunday. And people want to stay home and watch the Patriots. So if we're going on Saturday. And look at the weather. Mid 50s. It got up into the 60s. It was a perfect day to go there. So so Ed found out about that. But we were talking about but food and drink prices. It's gone up everywhere, and they went up as well, right?
Yeah. The lines were so long everywhere that we didn't even get to spend all of our coupons.
Wow.
We
That's how you
gave
do
them.
it. Mm-hmm.
We gave them to people that were coming in when we were leaving at 3:30. We gave them to families that had kids with them because everything is so expensive. Like a beer, which might have been 10 ounces tops, was $10.
Well, there you go, $1 an ounce.
A Coors Light or a Belgian.
It would be a Yee Coors Light, right?
Yeah. So, but it was fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad to have a good time. It is a lot of fun there. Linda was asking about the cost. So yeah, it's expensive because it costs to get in, and then there's the cost of food, and so. But then they always say, but all the entertainment's free. But have you ever been there, Linda?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. The entertainment is free, but those people that are entertainers, I don't think King Richard's Fair pays them. I'm not sure. So every show you see, they're looking for tips. They pass the hat. Or someone's standing behind the crowd as you have to leave to go see something else. There's someone there with their hand, well, not their hand, but usually a bag or something. So you can spend a lot of money there. If you like the show, please give us a couple of bucks and like that. And so that's how they make their living.
Wow. Yeah, the beggars, the mud.
Oh, the mud people are hysterical.
They're so funny, but they were doing that. There's two guys.
Yes.
And as the show was going on, they're saying, we're going to pass the hat around before the end of the show. That way you don't get tempted to leave. That's right. Stuff like that. And if you can put in $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever you can put in, fine. Yeah. If you can't put anything in, that's fine too. Just don't take anything out when the hat comes by.
So it's funny jokes like that. And last time I was there, this was last year. My daughter and I were there for it was a knife throwing competition, which was always scary to watch because that's a live person, and
Yeah.
that's a live person throwing it, and they clang them together. These are real knives,
Yeah.
and they show it. Okay, they move the woman out of the way, and they throw it against the board,
Yeah.
and thumb.
Yeah.
It's really sticks, and it's
Yeah.
real wood.
Yeah.
And so here we go, and sometimes you got to up your game. The girl spins around,
Yeah.
or sometimes
Yeah.
the guy is got blindfolded. I'm like, oh boy,
Scary.
it is scary to watch.
Yeah.
But then when it ends, you're like, oh yeah, and no one ever gets hurt.
No.
So, but you never know if someone's ever gonna make a mistake.
know.
It's
Yeah,
like, yikes,
can
what
happen.
happened? But yeah, it can get expensive at King Richard's Fair
Wow.
because everything you go to, someone's always looking. They always pass the hat. But
Wow.
I knew that ahead of time. I think I've told this story before. My favorite time, though, Ed, going to King Richard's Fair is I went one time when I was in college, and I was of age. This is important. And I went to go see it was the last day. It was Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And they go right up until almost Halloween.
Yeah.
I think they go
Oh.
to the 29th or 30th this year.
Yeah.
And so I was there with friends. I was on the last day of the Sunday. We went to go see the Mud Beggars, and at an earlier show, and gave them a few bucks then as well. But they said, if you stick around for our last show, which was about 4 p.m, and you're still here, we're going to take the tip money that we've collected like all season. And they brought us over to the beer tent, and they said, the beer pavilion, whatever it was, and we'll buy you a beer.
Sure.
So we stuck around.
Do anything for a beer, won't he?
You
Well, it
wouldn't
was
be a
free.
college student.
It was
right?
free.
Yeah.
So, but amazingly, it was kind of a cloudy day, a little on the cool side, right around 40, 45-ish, little mist coming. So the people that stuck around, it was only about 20 of us. And they probably know that it's not that
Yeah.
there won't be a lot of people, so it's not
Yeah.
really cut into their money,
Right.
that they're passing out. But they only won. Did you see there's people that do a bow and arrow demonstration?
Didn't see that.
No, but they shoot the bow and arrows and they shoot the apples and things like that. But the big end act is one of them stands on their head and they shoot the bow and arrow with their feet. Wow. So I'm like, that takes some
Yeah.
practice. Now, there's no one standing there. It's not a William Tell
Yeah, right.
or overture thing. We've got to shoot the apple that's on a stool or something like that. But to do it standing on your head and using one leg to hold the bow and the other one pulls the string back.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
That's impressive.
And we always love the jousting.
Oh, the jousting's great at the end.
Fantastic.
And did you pick the right team?
No.
I haven't picked the right team yet. They split it into four different
Yeah.
colors,
Yeah.
and it's Sir this and Sir that,
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
is your guy, and we cheer for your guy, and yeah. Haven't picked, and one, they try to kill the others,
Right,
and
yeah.
I haven't picked the right team yet.
No.
Yeah.
It all depends on where you're sitting, and they break the
Yeah.
oval up into into 4 quadrants, and they do other things. They catch the rings with the big spear.
Yeah.
Spear, is that what it's called?
Lance.
The lance. Thanks.
Lance, yes.
But these guys charging at each other on horses with the lance pointed
yeah.
at them, like, wow. More things. I would love to try to do, but I wonder how heavy that lance is.
I bet it's heavy.
I bet it's heavy
It's
too.
going to be heavy
and
enough,
it's
yeah.
15 feet long.
Maybe.
Maybe a little shorter?
Maybe a little short. Maybe a 12 feet or something.
all right.
We'll
but
wait.
still,
Yeah.
and
I always worry about the horses, though.
it's a real horse.
I know it is. I always get concerned about
Yes.
the horses.
But they never get hurt.
They don't. Huh?
They never die.
But they're trained to do
Yes.
that.
Well, run at full gallop at
I
each
know.
other.
That's what I mean.
And the last time I was there, we were cheering for my guy, but the guy that actually won, he cheated. Can you believe that?
Really?
He was supposed to have died, but he was hiding. He said, "Oh, you!" Ah. And then he won.
Well, they have this yell or chant, cheat to win,
That's
cheat to win.
But if you've never been to King Richard's Fair, make it a point at some point. You do have to get there. If you can't make it this year, they always come back every September and October on the weekends. It's a great time.
Start saving your money now.
Save your money.
exactly,
And it is a
yeah.
long drive.
We've got to save our money. We've got to buy the oil.
That's
It's only 15-minute drive. What do you
That's
mean?
from your house. It's
Oh,
15
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
From here,
I forgot.
it's an hour or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you get on that 2-lane road. And now you're stuck in traffic.
We're on 58.
Try to get there early. All right, break time on Coffee and. So, Ed, time for your second message from the Carew Investment Group, please.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. And if you're looking for an investment firm that works hard on your behalf and put you first, definitely put you first, we'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket, and we've been in business since 1987. So you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor or work on an advisor based in Boston or New York or who knows where, probably someone you're never going to meet. And we encourage our clients to come to the office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us for a free, no-obligation consultation and find out more about how we'll invest your money, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. Coffee and program continues. Questions and comments can be called in at 766-1240.
Seasonal allergies got you down? The Honey Shop has a solution. Breathe. It's the all-natural cold and allergy remedy made right here in Woonsocket. Or perhaps you have sleep problems, arthritis, or some other ailment that you're looking for a natural solution. The Honey Shop is also starting classes again. So if you're looking to learn something new, stop by 1300 Park Avenue in Woonsocket near Park Square, or give them a call at 401-766-1488. The Honey Shop. The Woonsocket Board of Canvassers would like to remind voters that November 8th is Election Day. The voters of Woonsocket will be voting on races from U.S. Congress to school committee with 3 state referenda questions. In addition, there will be 2 local referenda questions on the ballot. Question 4, an amendment to the Woonsocket Home Rule Charter, regards the appointment of the city solicitor and reads, shall the City of Woonsocket Home Rule Charter, Chapter 10, entitled Administrative Departments, Article 1, entitled Law Department, Section 1, entitled Created Appointment Qualifications of Head, be amended to change the authorization for appointment of the city solicitor from the appointment by the mayor to appointment by the city council? You may approve or reject that question. Question 5 is entitled Relating to Cannabis Establishments and Public Use. And the question reads, shall new cannabis-related licenses for businesses involved in the cultivation, manufacture, laboratory testing, and for the retail sale of adult recreational use cannabis be issued in the City of Woonsocket? You may approve or reject that question. Knowing your options from home, early in person, or Election Day, please vote. If you'd like more information on the election, you can visit the website of the Woonsocket Board of Canvassers at www.woonsoketri.org or call the office at 401-767-9223.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio.
But I agree.
It is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. One more thing I said I was going to bring it up on Coffee and. Yesterday at Autumn Fest, they had their Showcase Pro Wrestling, which is actually a business here in the city of Woonsocket. They're right on North Main Street. And it's for people that want to get into that business, and it's basically training. This is where you go to learn what to do in the ring. Professional wrestling. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So they put on a show at Autumn Fest, and they had a very good spot. Once you came in off Social Street, you walk right by where the baseball field is, and they were right outside the left field fence.
Yeah.
So there's a grassy area there,
Yeah.
and that's where they set up the ring. Talk about crowded. I would say there were at least 500 people that went down to see at least some of it. And there were people that you could go down to the grassy area that got crowded, and then people stopped backing up, which is good because there's a hill, so now you can see over everyone's head.
Yeah.
And then there's a stone wall that rings all the way around.
Right.
People are sitting all the way around it, going up the path watching it there, and then they came back around, sat on the stone wall, and went all the way to just about the backstop to watch this event. And so what we did, we had a band on Sunday, School of Rock was the name of the band, and they ended at 1:00, and the wrestling was beginning at 1:00. So up on the main stage, they were going to do some games, some audience participation games on the main stage, but they need to set up. They're going to bring tables out. We're going to bring chairs out. We're going to bring stuff to put on the table. So that just takes a little time to set that up. So ahead of that, I went down to the guy that was running the wrestling thing. I said, "Can I have 2 wrestlers come to the stage, and and if you can wait like 5 minutes before you start, so these guys can come back, and just bring them on the main stage. We'll talk 5 minutes to promote the wrestling's going on. I mean, I've already mentioned it, but let's have them do it. Have them do their shtick, and bring people down." And they said, "Oh, absolutely, that's a great idea." So 2 guys came over, and one guy was completely dressed in his outfit, and one guy was shirtless. I'm like, God, he's got to be cold, but he was huge. He's a huge man, and so I said, I'd like to introduce you to my two new pals. Come on up, guys. and they came up. And what's so funny is the guy that was, quote unquote, the bad guy, he was all smiles ahead of time until I said, "Come on up." And his face completely changed. And he walked very slowly, very methodically. He looked out of the crowd with such disdain. I said, "This is perfect." So I turned to the other guy first. He got there first. He's the good guy. "Nice to see everybody. Oh, this is awesome. I love performing for you fans. You're my people. I'm from Woonsocket." That got a good cheer. So please come down and see me over there. So now I turned to the other guy, who's like, and what's your name? "My name is Professor Christopher." What I forget what his last name he said. And these vermin disgust me. And now the other guy, he's jumping in. I got to go back and forth on the microphone trying to get. He's like, "You can't say that about my people. These people are great. These people are imbeciles." And now they go, "You want to go at it right now?" Now the crowd is cheering. "Oh yeah, get him!" And I could hear people in the crowd saying, "There's a chair and there's a table right behind you. Use that." And so I'm getting in front of getting in between. "Oh, well, we can't do it here. Yeah, you got to go down the ring." All right. And they weren't even fighting each other. "I'm going to meet you later on, but come to see the Showcase Pro Wrestling. It starts in about 5 minutes. Come on down and see us. Thanks, guys." And they left the stage.
Wow.
So
what a good idea.
It was exactly what I wanted from them.
Yeah.
They did it perfectly. And then I went down a little later on to actually see the crowd that was down there, and it's just so funny to watch the kids, and 12 and under or so, and. Now, these guys, they're just starting out, so you don't know who they are. And you don't know who the good guys are, and you don't know who the bad guys are, although it's pretty easy to figure out. As soon as they come out and they introduce, the good guys always come out and shake hands with everybody, and they smile and they wave.
Yeah.
And, all right, and the bad guys come out and they just, they brush you off, and I don't want to deal with you, kind of thing. So the kids figure it out pretty quickly, who the good guys and the bad guys are, and they always cheer for the good guys. Whenever the good guy does something good, he knocks them down, he throws them out of the ring. They cheer like mad. Yeah. and of course, and then if the good guy wins, they're just ecstatic, and they're just jumping up and down. So it was so much fun to see, and watch the kids' reaction to it. So we'll have to keep bringing them back. And they had such a good spot of people coming by. We've had them there before, but they were always, where the basketball courts are at World War II Park. The ring was always set up way back there.
Oh, yeah.
So you really had to try to.
Yeah.
You had to. That's a destination. Now you had to really know where you were going to get to it. Now the general public is seeing. Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
So it was nice. It was nice and easy. So I think that was a good spot for them.
I didn't know that there was such a place on North Main Street.
It's a school.
What's it called?
Showcase Pro Wrestling, and they do fundraisers and they do events like this, and they say they do birthday parties too. So. But this is where they
my cake.
So this is where they go to learn what to do, and it's not for kids. You have to be an adult to do this.
Yeah.
You've got to be 18,
and
I
these,
guess.
These are the people that like you see on those Wide World.
Yeah,
what do you
like you
call
see
it?
World Wrestling Entertainment.
That thing, yeah.
Yeah, Well, they got to get to that level.
Yeah.
That's like the major leagues.
Wow.
These guys are like AA in
Double
baseball
A?
or AAA.
Yeah.
So they're in the
And so,
minor
and
leagues.
so people come here as scouts and they look for these people. Is that how that goes? How does that go?
I'm not quite sure how it
Oh.
works perfectly, but there's the whole what's called the independent circuit, and that's what they are.
Yeah.
And they'll go wrestle
Where?
at they've been at Post 85,
so those-
American Legion Post. They'll do events like this. They will do like a fundraiser, like if a school wants to have it in their
But
gym.
they don't have a wrestling place like what was it called?
Jack
Jack
Witchies.
Witches.
Witchies.
Yeah.
Jack
Witchies.
Witchies. Yeah, they don't have that anymore.
No, that burned down. There are no more places
So there
like
are
that.
no more places like that.
No. So you go to the VFW halls and
Oh,
things like that,
yeah,
and
yeah,
American
yeah.
Legion halls and high school gyms, if they want to have, and they do it as a fundraiser.
Fundraiser.
Yeah, this one was free, obviously, because it was Autumn Fest.
yeah,
Just come in
yeah.
and here's who we are.
Here, and yeah,
And if there's any
publicizing
adults,
what it is
if there's
they
any
do.
adults, we can do fundraisers for you and get in touch with us, kind of thing, like that. So that's how that works. And then these guys, there were no women there. There were guys that they're learning how to do this.
Yeah.
And without hurting each other, of course.
yeah, with-
and
hit you over the head
try
with
you
the
get
table and-
yeah,
yeah.
you get better and better and better,
Yeah.
and then maybe your name gets mentioned somewhere else, or a scout comes and sees you and say
Yeah.
we can work with that guy, and they bring him up. So that's how that world works.
Wow.
So now you've learned something, right, Linda?
Yes, I have. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. The Zach Brown tribute band, I think, stole the show at Autumn Fest, but another band that did very, very well was called the Little Merman. They are the nation's ultimate tribute band to Disney songs. That's all they sing. All right? 3 guys, 2 girls. And they first come out, and they're wearing a Disney, not really outfits, but you can tell that one's supposed to be Mickey, that one's supposed to be Minnie. We got Pluto, Goofy, Donald, and then I'm not quite sure what the other one was supposed to be, but then they have an intermission. We did some games, and when they came back out, now we have they've changed costumes. Now we've got Buzz, we've got Woody, we got the Mad Hatter, we've got Elsa from Frozen, and we got Maribel from one of the newer Disney movies called Encanto. And to see the little girls that are walking by and they see Elsa on stage, they're just mesmerized.
Of course, yeah.
And they're screaming out her name.
Yeah.
Oh, my Elsa! Oh, it's so cute to see. And they play so well. And they sang all the Disney songs from the Disney movies that you all know. And they go back to like the Jungle Book, and I Want to Be Like You, and it was like that. And then right up through Hercules and The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and all of those.
Let It Go.
Let It Go from Frozen. Absolutely. They were funny. The lead guy is saying, there's a song from Frozen. What's it called? Let It Show. Of course, all the kids. Oh, no, it's Let It Go.
Let It Go.
Let It Blow. No. So little things to get the audience going, and then they sang "Let It Go," of course, and
of course.
and they were fabulous. They did such a great job. So that was a lot of fun. All right, we're going to switch gears just a little bit here. Things that are going on in the news. Chris Christie was in town. Ed, did you hear that?
Nope.
He was.
Yes.
He was
Alan Fung.
campaigning with Alan Fung. Yeah. Alan Fung is running for the District 2 seat in Rhode Island. Langevin seat. That's not going to be. He's not running for re-election. So Alan brought Chris Christie around, and he brought him to the fair that was going on at Federal Hill for Columbus Day, and then he brought him out to the Scituate Art Festival because Scituate is part of his area as well. So people just know Chris Christie. He's just a national figure, and they say, "Yep, come on and vote for this guy to see if we can get." I don't know how good it will do to see how we can get a Republican into that seat. That's what they're trying to do.
The polls show he's ahead right now
Is he ahead?
by 6 points, but he's ahead. Yeah.
Well, that's small. I've seen the ads that are just crucifying him.
Well,
His
of course.
TV ads. I'm like,
Of course,
man,
yeah.
oh man, they are just ripping this guy apart.
Yeah.
He's going to take a bit. He doesn't want you to have your this. It's geared towards women, Ed, and
Illegal
it's just
abortion.
it's all about abortion, and
Yeah.
he's going to keep it illegal. And what's odd about the ad, Linda, I think, He voted. He will vote. And I'm like, how do you know what he's going to do? But anyway, he will vote to keep abortion illegal in all 50 states, including Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, did I hear that right?
Yeah.
I thought we were already part of the 50 states.
Yeah.
They actually say that, including all 50 states, including Rhode Island.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that is odd.
Aren't you getting tired of the ads, though, the political ads? Are you?
I've heard that mostly from people that see it from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
you see the Alan Fung one,
Yeah.
you see the Ashley Kalis ones, and you see the Dan McKee ones.
Yeah.
And it seems to be those three
Yeah.
over and over
Those
and over.
are the ones you see. Yeah.
Etta and I are a little different
Yeah.
because we get them spread out a little more.
Yeah. Yeah.
we get Mass and New Hampshire ads.
Oh, so you get different.
so
you
get different people.
get to be annoyed by different people.
That's right. That's right. So I know who I'm voting for if I move to New Hampshire, by the way.
There you go. There you go.
Maggie Hassan's out. if you know who she is, by the way. All right, we got to take a break right here. And it's time for the forecast, which is being brought to you by Unbound.org. Let's bring in Dave. He did the weather forecast for us and does it so well. So is this the right one? Here's the right one.
Sunny skies with a high of 64 degrees and a calm wind today. Tonight, clear. Overnight low of 47. Wednesday's weather sunny and 71 with a calm wind. Thursday, chance of rain, mainly afternoon, mostly cloudy skies and a high of 70. Friday, another chance of rain, partly sunny with a high of 67. Saturday, sunshine and 63. Sunday, sunshine and 64. And next Monday, partly sunny and 62.
A girl in China dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
Did you know cigarettes, cigars, and other tobacco products can't be sold to anyone under 21? That means vapes and e-cigs too. So why the new law? One reason is nicotine. Addiction can happen faster for teens and young adults. Another reason why, nicotine can harm their brain development too. Tobacco 21 is the law. Learn more at tobaccofree-ri.org/21. Brought to you by the Rhode Island Department of Health and Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Hi, I'm Greg Bell, the host of When Radio Was.
Why, Mortimer!
Bill,
Is that you under that blindfold?
Bill, with this thing on, I can't see who I am.
No, I imagine not. Can't you see anything at all under that blindfold?
On a clear day, I can see the blindfold.
You can.
Yeah.
When Radio Was, shows from the past for today's imaginations.
When Radio Was airs Monday through Friday right here on ON 1240 Radio at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m.
It is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan, Ed Carew, Linda Tebow is here. A couple of things going on in their news and things that just scratch your head and you're like, what? Why are you doing this? And there was a man from Burrillville who went to a drive-in theater in Connecticut, in Rockville, Connecticut. He went to the Mansfield Drive-In Theater during a flea market and allegedly set a bomb down in the bathroom.
Yeah, I
Now,
heard
it
that.
wasn't detonated.
Yeah.
Good, but they had to call in the police and the bomb squad, and they had to evacuate, obviously, the flea market, and I'm sure some of the surrounding areas while they found out what was going on. And So he's been arrested. They did find him, and his name is Matthew Farley. He's charged with attempting to manufacture a bomb, and conspiracy. He's being held on $50,000 bond. Just makes you scratch your head and say,
Why?
What's the point of doing this? Unless you really don't like the
15 minutes of fame,
driving.
right?
Maybe you want your 15 minutes of fame. I don't know. You know, I'm. No one's blown up a flea market,
No.
so I'll be the one that did that.
Yeah.
No, so I don't get it. And but they caught him. Remember, there were cameras everywhere. I don't know why people don't quite grasp that concept yet, but they're going to see you go and leave it or whatever. So that's what happened out there in Connecticut with this man from Burrillville. The other thing going on is, and it always happens around this time of year, police in Gloucester pull over the car, and he's got over 200 packaged edibles in his car, Ed, with the THC in it, which has got that's the real stuff that makes you high. But of course they package it so it looks very similar to Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
And other little breakfast bar cereals. Trix.
Yeah.
And there was another one I read.
Cocoa
Puffs.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the warning goes out to parents.
Especially
always
Halloween.
At Halloween.
Yeah.
You have to inspect the children's candy. And if it says, Rice Krispies and Rice is spelled R-I-S-E or something like that, you got to look for the minutia, things like that. They change one letter, and then it's not the stuff you think it is. Yeah, and
that's scary. Actually, that's kind of scary.
So this was all confiscated on Sunday night. 29-year-old man, don't have a name, charged with possessing and manufacturing marijuana. And so when they say, well, yeah, but it's legal in Rhode Island and some, at least not quite yet. Well, Rhode Island legalized personal possession of cannabis earlier this year, but that's too much. 200 packages of this stuff. So I'm glad they were able to catch him, and at least this one. But you always wonder, what about the ones they're not catching? Yeah. The ones that are driving the speed limit and don't have the taillight out.
Right.
And it's small things like that. Yeah. So all right. Moving on now, I'm gonna bring this up. This has been an ongoing issue, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And we've noticed it with our high school football situation, and it's this problem nationwide. I don't know if you heard about it. There's a lack of referees for youth sports nationwide. Yeah. Now it's affecting football, high school football in Rhode Island. They want to put games on Friday nights and Saturdays. And there's always a group of four men, usually it's men, that come out and do the games. Well, they schedule 10 games, but we only have 8 groups of referees. Mm-hmm. So they've had to move games from Friday to Thursday, and then there's other rules that are involved. But it's a nationwide problem everywhere. And the latest situation, and it doesn't really do with a lack of referees. But this happened. It happened in Warwick at Thayer Arena. Yep. It's a tournament for girls ice hockey. The girls are 10 and 9. Okay, there's a team from Massachusetts playing a team from Pennsylvania. That's important to know. They come from all over to do these tournaments.
Right.
The parents of the team from Pennsylvania are riding the referee. Now, the referee's a teenager. Is it a teenager?
Girl.
A teenage girl. It's so bad. Yeah. They are yelling at the ref so badly, she starts crying and leaves. Yeah. I quit. Yeah. I don't have to put up with this kind of crap. Yeah. 9 and 10-year-old girls hockey team. It's not the players. It's not the coaches. That's the problem.
No, but it's the parents.
It's the parents.
It's the parent. And, I've been involved with... my Dave, my husband Dave, we were very involved with youth hockey in North Smithfield. We were a hockey town, and he was a ref, And he got to be a ref because he was riding a ref, and the ref said you can. So he did.
If you
so
think
he,
you can do
so
better,
he
come
ended
down,
up
you
being
win?
in charge of all the refs.
Oh, all right.
And he was a ref, and he did it for the longest time. And he's a grown man, and But I know my grandson Michael was quite a skater and a hockey player, and they used to use like 12-year-old boys on the
For
little
the younger
kids.
kids, yeah.
And he said, "Grammy, I'm done." And he used to get paid.
Oh, yeah.
He used to get paid to do it, and he liked to get paid. But he said, "Grammy, the parents are terrible. They're yelling and screaming at
him.
At him."
Yeah.
He said, he didn't quit in the middle of the game because he didn't.
Good
but
for him,
he
but-
stopped.
yeah.
But it's terrible. Mm-hmm. It's terrible when you see that, and so it's the parents. Mm-hmm. It's the parents, and especially 10-year-old girls. I mean,
Well, it's not life and death.
not that there's any. They're very good little hockey players.
I'm sure they are.
They really are
Yeah.
because they're quick. They know how to skate. They do a good job. But come on,
No.
they're not the Olympics here
Well, that's
or
right.
getting paid.
And when they're that young, I'm sure your grandson can attest to this.
Yeah.
He's the only one out there as the official.
Right.
There's not 2 or 3 of them.
No.
And you can't be everywhere.
No.
And have you ever seen any bad parenting towards officials of any sport, of anything like this?
No,
Or going back in your vast history?
can't say that I have.
Oh, you're lucky then,
Yeah.
because it's supposed to be getting better.
Well, but
And it's not.
And the thing is, what are they teaching these kids?
Well, that's
what
right.
are parents teaching these kids
Yeah.
that it's okay to yell and scream at that whole thing? Authority.
Yeah.
Authority.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the best. Well, and I mean, think about it. Even if the professional games, like
They still miss it.
We didn't think that was a good call, even though I like
the
Tom
Falcons-
Brady.
Falcons-Bucks game,
But those guys are getting paid a lot of money.
They get paid like $70,000 a
Those
year.
refs, those umpires
Yeah.
and refs, they make a lot of money. But we're teaching the kids that it's okay to be yelling and screaming and swearing.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe she's making $50 a game
If she's
it's
lucky.
that high.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
even think they get that
That
much.
high?
But and what the thing is, she tried to get. See, they can throw parents out.
Yeah, she tried to throw them out,
She
right?
did try to throw them out.
Did they leave?
No, they didn't listen. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I know, like with the grown-up men, like when Dave used to rep,
Yeah.
they could say, "You're out."
Especially with the men.
They can throw a coach. They can give a bench
Right.
penalty and throw a coach.
Throw the
out.
coach out. Throw a player out too.
Player, but a coach too.
Yeah. But as
You know?
as the ref, they would just hold up the game. We're holding up the game until you leave.
Right. Exactly.
And then if they
Yeah.
don't leave,
Yeah.
okay, your team
Yeah.
is going to forfeit.
But if you figure the girl that was reffing was probably 14 or 15
Yeah.
years old.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She says, I probably said, please, could you leave?
Please
or
leave,
whatever,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Not very authoritative.
But I think it's a terrible lesson. Those
Yeah.
parents are giving a terrible lesson to the
And
kids.
now, what I did read a little later on, the Massachusetts team, who lost, by the way,
Yeah, they did.
1-0, they rallied around the referee.
Yeah.
And were trying to console her.
Yeah.
After the game.
After the game, they
I
made sure
guess
she was okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how it finished. If she left the game and quit in the middle, maybe that was just the end of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but my son said he'd like to get into hockey refereeing. I said, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, you sure? Yeah.
Hockey's rough, not from the people on the ice. It's the people in the stands. He's like,
stands.
ugh.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, he was going to give it a try. Now, from a person that's skated before, it's a little easier, I think, in hockey because of the speed of the game. And if you skate fast enough, you actually can't hear as you're skating by. But I'm sure what's happening is when the play stops,
Yeah.
that's when you can start hearing things. And then the face-offs are right near the boards, right where the crowd is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can hear it there
Yeah.
as well.
And when it's little kids, they're not quite as fast.
Oh, yeah.
you know,
things
when
go-
you get up,
things
when
go
you get up into high school,
Then it goes faster,
Well,
obviously.
Dave used to tell me he just tuned them out.
Yeah.
He he just didn't listen. He
And,
did his thing,
and that's a skill
It is.
to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
he does that to me a lot. Though. He's
It's well-developed skill.
Practice with
he's
you.
very used to it.
But I've seen that with other referees at my son's games, with the coaches that ride the referees,
Coaches,
and
yeah.
And they listen for a little while, but then I've seen them turn around and say, all right, that's enough.
Yeah.
I've heard enough.
Yeah.
Any more,
And you're gone.
and you're gone.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
And obviously the coaches don't want to get thrown out of their own game.
Yeah.
And so they do end up quieting down.
Yeah.
It's funny. Here's the difference, I think, between men and women.
Yeah.
Men understand that. You tell the women to be quiet,
Yeah.
they just get madder. You can't, and then they start yelling more.
Well, some of the mothers are just as bad as
I know-
they're-
I know they
they're
are.
Really, they're
So-
really. You just hit my son.
Oh yes,
or
my
daughter.
little child, but I don't know how to make this better, unless
I
they
don't
just
know.
ban parents from the game,
Well,
which has
and
also
you know,
happened.
That has happened.
Yeah.
Clear the rink.
The rink,
Just-
everybody out,
Yep, everybody out except for the players.
and just
It's
watch
kinda
it.
sad.
Watch it through the window in
If
the
you're
lobby,
with your
and we
mouth-
can't hear you.
Tape on your mouth.
And I've seen other places where they've passed out.
Duct tape.
No, not duct tape. It's before the season begins.
idea.
It's like a contract
It is.
of behavior
Yeah.
that the parents sign. You know, you will not yell at the referees.
Right.
You will not yell at the coaches. You will not yell at your own child.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are trying their best.
Yeah.
And I've seen it before. I've seen it on a placard at a little league baseball field that says the odds of your child making it to the major leagues, .0000001%.
Yeah.
They're out here to have fun.
Yeah.
They're not here to. You're not there to live your life through them.
Well, and that's what they're
And
trying to do.
yeah, and they're probably not going to get a Division I scholarship.
No.
And there are no scouts here from the Red Sox.
And you know what?
Signing your child at 10. It's
You
just
know
not
what-
happening.
You know what I've noticed too, that the parents, especially the dads, well, I see it with different with women too, but with the dads that probably weren't at all athletic. You
Yeah.
know, they didn't
they
play
want their
hockey
child to
or
be
they,
athletic.
But these are the ones that are starting the kids young, and they're going to be good, and they're going to be on the elite team, and they're going to
Oh,
do,
yeah.
all of the all stars and everything.
You're ruining
Yeah.
my son's
It's like-
chances of a
yeah,
scholarship.
a scholarship, yeah. Not too many of those scholarships going around.
No. And then and the scouts, and they're not recruiting when they're 10.
No,
it's
they're
just
not.
it's just,
Yeah.
just not happening.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get off our soapbox.
Okay.
All right, time for a break here in the coffee and more coming up. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Brian Thompson, and I'm running for Woonsocket City Council. Why? Because as a general foreman in the construction industry, I have learned how to bring together many different personalities, some who may not always agree, and we end up getting the job done anyway. If you elect me to the council, I promise to work to stabilize taxes for homeowners, work for a positive business climate, and improve the quality of life for our seniors and veterans. But most of all, I pledge to be transparent, open, and accessible to all voters of Woonsocket. On November 8th, please vote for me, Brian Thompson, for Woonsocket City Council. I won't let you down. Paid for by friends of Brian Thompson.
The Woonsocket Call is more than just your printed community newspaper. WoonsocketCall.com offers online articles for instant access to the news you want whenever and wherever you want it. All the community news and information you need to know is just a click or a tap away. And now, when you subscribe to our print edition, you'll get full access to the web edition at no extra cost. That's right. For just $15.99 per month, you'll get full access to our online paper as well as our daily printed paper, or sign up for the digital subscription for just $10.99 a month. To subscribe now, call this number, 767-8504. That's 767-8504. The Call, and WoonsocketCall.com. Here for you. The Woonsocket Board of Canvassers would like to remind voters that November 8th is Election Day. The voters of Woonsocket will be voting on races from U.S. Congress to school committee with 3 state referenda questions. In addition, there will be 2 local referenda questions on the ballot. Question 4, an amendment to the Woonsocket Home Rule Charter, regards the appointment of the city solicitor and reads, shall the City of Woonsocket Home Rule Charter, Chapter 10, entitled Administrative Departments, Article 1, entitled Law Department, Section 1, entitled Created Appointment Qualifications of Head, be amended to change the authorization for appointment of the city solicitor from the appointment by the mayor to appointment by the city council. You may approve or reject that question. Question 5 is entitled Relating to Cannabis Establishments and Public Use. And the question reads, shall new cannabis-related licenses for businesses involved in the cultivation, manufacture, laboratory testing, and for the retail sale of adult recreational use cannabis be issued in the city of Woonsocket? You may approve or reject that question. Knowing your options from home, early in person, or election day, please vote. If you'd like more information on the election, you can visit the website of the Woonsocket Board of Canvassers at www.woonsocketri.org or call the office at 401-767-9223.
All right, Coffee In on ON Radio. Joe Callahan, Linda Tebow, Ed Carew is here, and Ed was telling us off air that he saw a poll, and apparently Massachusetts is the happiest state in the union.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Wow.
Yeah, the people that live in Massachusetts are the happiest in the union.
And what did they base their poll on?
Education, income, services, healthcare,
everything that's
things
available?
Like that. Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's great. Any other New England states make it?
Yeah, well.
In the top 5?
Well, in the top, I think it said in the top 15, all the New England states were in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they must be doing something right.
It's the weather.
Up here in New England.
It's the weather. It changes.
That might be it. So, any idea who's at the bottom? Usually it's like Mississippi or
West
Arkansas.
Virginia.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that. There's something's going on in those mountains down there, and I saw it was over a year ago. It was either 60 Minutes or 2020 or something like that. They did a thing. There's still people in West Virginia that don't have running water in their house. I said, it is 2020 or whatever, or 2019 or whatever it was when I started. I said, how is this possible? And they showed it was a whole small hamlet of people who get buckets and they have to walk down to where the pipe is that's coming out of the ground. This is our water. And then they walk it back to their house. Not that it's a long walk, but I go, I don't get it. Why can't this be fixed? This is not the 1800s. It's the 21st century. So I can see that. If I was in that situation, I'd put us down unhappy. Are you happy living here? Absolutely not. I've got no running water in the house. I don't get it. So, okay. So, wow. Well, nice of us here in the all New England states made it into the top 15. So I got my other happy news. Is it happy news? Not so happy for these people. And I like to tell Ed sometimes these car stories that we get in the news. 2 men are facing DUI charges, Ed, out in Colorado. They crashed their cars into the front of the Denver, Colorado fire station. Now, what were they driving? Lamborghinis. I'm like, wow. 2 men driving Lamborghinis.
Deliberately?
Well, I don't think they did it deliberately. Well, police say the 2 men were driving Lamborghinis, each in their own. Began revving their engines as they sat at a stoplight on Thursday night. And when the light changed, the cars started racing each other until they crashed into a third vehicle, not a Lamborghini, down the road in front, and they crashed in front of the Denver's fire station number 1. One of the Lamborghinis caught on fire after the crash, though the fire was out by the time the firefighters arrived. Must not have been a very big fire. They were right there at the station. The driver of that car may be facing a really expensive repair bill. Police say he could not provide proof of insurance at the time of his arrest. Oh, no.
You have a Lamborghini
and you don't have it insured? You paid...
Oh, my goodness.
What do you pay, $150,000 for Lamborghinis?
I don't know. I never bought one.
Wow. Well, they're pretty high.
Wow. And no insurance.
No proof. Well, he didn't have proof of insurance. Maybe he has it at home. Of course, you got to keep it with you, of course, in the glove compartment at least. But he couldn't prove that he had insurance at the time of the crash, which is a citation right there, among other things, among causing the crash and that.
I have it. It's in the glove compartment.
It's on
fire. The car burned down.
I can't get it right now. I take my word for it.
Yeah, I can't get my hands on it right this
now.
second.
What's your insurance company? Allstate. I'll get Mayhem on the phone. He'll be right here. This one's a little worse when it comes to cars. This happened in Sheldon, Vermont. A man is dead. He crashed his car, not into the fire station. He crashed it into a cow.
Oh,
And
wow.
he died, not the cow. How about that? This is a good-sized cow.
Big cow.
This is on Route 105 in Sheldon, Vermont. State police say 48-year-old Jason St. Pierre he's driving a Jaguar.
What is?
How are these people getting all these
I must be doing
cars?
something wrong.
A Jaguar Type S sedan. That ring a bell, Ed, at all?
That's
No,
You ever look at Jags?
no, never looked at
All
that.
right. And he's not racing, but he's driving at a high rate of speed. When it hit the cow on the roadway near the Abbey restaurant. If you happen to know where Sheldon, Vermont is. Arriving state troopers found St. Pierre and the cow. Oh, the cow died too. I'm sorry to hear that. The cow and the driver are dead at the scene. Now, there's a passenger in the Jaguar. They survived the crash. And he told investigators the car was going about 100 miles an hour when they hit the cow.
because Jaguars can.
Because Jaguars can go, and so can Lamborghinis. Can go
know.
that fast. Your Honda Accord could probably go that fast too, although it might start shaking, and it might not be as very smooth ride. So, that's too bad. But when you're in Vermont, in New Hampshire, and Maine, there are signs up, especially when you enter the state. There are not just cows, and finding a cow in the street's kind of odd, but the other animals, the deer and the moose.
Moose, bear.
Moose, yeah.
Bears,
Yeah.
yes. And they're going to, I don't know about the cow here, but the moose and the elk are going to win. The only time I've seen where they don't win if a calf gets hit. But usually the calf survives, but usually they got a broken leg or something like that, which is too bad, and then they got to put the animal down. But if you hit an adult moose, your car's catching on fire, the moose was walking away, and you're stuck there. So driving 100 miles an hour in small towns up there is just not very bright.
No, because those roads are very. I
They're
think
narrow.
I've been to Sheldon,
Have you?
Vermont. Yeah, because we used to go up to Vermont, but they're little roads.
And they're windy.
They're not. Yeah, they're not 100-mile-an-hour roads at all.
No, like more like 30, right?
Yeah.
Because there's so many turns
Yeah,
and stuff.
and people walk. And
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, but too bad for the cow.
Yeah.
Too bad for the man.
Well,
but,
yeah.
And
Oh,
well, the
man,
cow gets the sympathy first because the cow was
Cow
hit.
wasn't doing
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cow was just crossing the road.
Cow was
Crossing the
minding
road.
its own business.
That's right.
Exactly.
Oh, look, more grass over there.
Yeah.
Go take a look at that.
Yeah.
So, all right, a better story out of Chicago. This is a New Hampshire man has the world best time for a Special Olympian in the Chicago Marathon. Good for him.
Good for him.
Thomas Cantera told a TV station in Chicago the pace was even faster than he expected. It took him just over 2 hours and 36 minutes to finish the 26.2-mile race. He came in 261st place out of 40,000 runners.
Wow.
You know, the runners that come in first place usually run the marathon in 2 hours and 20 minutes in that general area.
Yeah.
He's only 15 minutes behind
That's
them.
very good.
That's
very good.
terrific. He said he hopes to improve his time even more when he runs the Boston Marathon in April.
Good for him.
Good for him. Wow,
Good
that's
for him.
fantastic. Best time, world's best time, coming in at 2 hours and 36 minutes.
Wow.
I'm thinking, if I was in the marathon, where would I be at 2 hours and 36 minutes? At mile marker 3. I'll get there.
On your back, gasping for air.
Is it okay if we walk this whole thing? I've run for about 500 yards. Oh boy,
You're a sprinter.
I'm over a sprinter.
You're a
That's
sprinter.
right.
We are a sprinter.
This marathon thing is not
Gotta
good.
admire those people that do that. That takes so much training and intestinal fortitude.
And the what it does to your body, and you see those people who can barely walk at the end.
Yeah.
And they're wobbling, and they got to come out and get help, and then and they come out and they wrap them in that foil blanket.
Warm 'em
What does
up.
that do?
It warms them up.
Do their legs need to get warm? Is
Yeah,
that what's happening?
yeah,
Have they cramped up and they're
they're
cold?
cramped, yeah. And,
Okay.
it warms them up. Get the blood circulating to all body parts again, Yeah.
Do they need to be brought to the hospital, or will that
No,
foil
not
blanket
usually. Not
do
usually.
it enough? Yeah,
No,
okay.
they hydrate them and
There's water.
Yeah, water.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'm sure at the end of those things, if it looks like people are severely dehydrated, they have EMTs there starting an IV or something like that.
You get to keep the foil jacket? You got to give
I
it
don't
back.
know. I don't know if you do.
Well, they're kind of nice.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's all we have to discuss for today. Yes. Unless you want to hear about the woman trapped under the bus.
No.
That was in North Carolina.
Is she okay?
Serious injuries, though.
Oh.
She somehow became lodged underneath a motor coach at the corner of these two streets in Charlotte, North Carolina. The bus had to be lifted in order to take the woman to the hospital. So how she got under the bus is not said. So
But she's okay.
she could have done. Well, she's got serious injuries, but she's still alive.
Oh.
So, okay, did she do it on her own, or did she
Yes.
slip, or what?
Well, I
Doesn't
don't
say.
know.
All right, we're done with today's program here on Coffee Inn. Thanks for listening in. Ed Carew, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right, and you're all done. You going to go back to King Richard's Fair one more time, or are we done till next year?
We're done till next year.
All right. Linda Tebow, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right, and I hope Dave had a good time this weekend.
He did.
All right.
He did. He's still recovering, but he he did okay.
All right, great. This is Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone. Stay tuned. Gary Smith and the crew, I think, will be here at 9:30 with the Do You Remember program.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. Former New Jersey Governor and presidential candidate Chris Christie campaigned for Rhode Island congressional hopeful Alan Fung yesterday. The former mayor of Cranston, Fung, is looking to flip one of Rhode Island's two seats in the House of Representatives from Democrats